Hello YouTube and welcome to Prime Productions. I'm here to help enhance your tabletop gaming experience. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, I've been on a kick recently talking about Starfinder. Starfinder is a tabletop role-playing game put out by Paizo, the same people that make Pathfinder Second Edition. Paizo is getting ready to release the playtest for Starfinder Second Edition here soon as of the posting of this video. So I've been talking to the community in order to get everyone up to speed. Starfinder Second Edition will use the same rules as Pathfinder Second Edition largely, and the two should be mostly cross-compatible. What you may not know unless you've been following Starfinder closely is that Paizo released a series of field tests, or pre-playtests if you will. These are very narrow in scope, a few ancestries, a few battles you could fight, a few new spells, and 3 of the core 6 classes for Starfinder were previewed, but only up until level 5. So today I thought I'd do something fun and just make a soldier using the first field test released. Now, Paizo has already gone on record saying that the field test soldier and the play test soldier are different. They've already made some changes to the soldier, so this won't be the playtest soldier, but it should give you a rough idea of what the playtest soldier will look like. And besides, we're just doing this for fun. This is just a fun little way to pass the time until the playtest comes out. Now, like I said, the field test gave us a little to work with, so we will have to borrow heavily from Pathfinder Second Edition rules to flesh out our character, but we do have the class information at least up until level 5. Okay, so this is switching gears, but bear with me. This is Slab Bulkhead, one of my characters in Fallout 76. Bonus points if you get the reference, by the way. If you don't know, Fallout 76 is a video game set in the Fallout universe, the video game franchise that Amazon series was based on. Fallout is set in an alternate future where everything has a 1950s sci-fi aesthetic and then nuclear war happened. All of that makes good material to pull from for Starfinder. So, Slab Bulkhead here is patterned off of a soldier, so he should be a decent template for a Starfinder soldier. He actually wears heavy armor. You can see it here if I remove the clothing overlay. He's completely armored. He's also focused on doing ranged damage, as you can see, so he largely uses his laser Gatling gun, which Starfinder has stats for, though they call it a roto-laser. So yeah, so I have something to work from, and so you guys have something interesting to look at. Let's use Slab Bulkhead as a basis for our soldier. As always, when making a Pathfinder or Starfinder character, we start with the ABCs of character creation, and A stands for Ancestry. There's no new human ancestry stuff in the field tests, so we'll have to use Pathfinder Second Edition to get the rules for him, at least for now. There is likely to be new human stuff in the full Starfinder playtest book, though. Slab Bulkhead is human, that's pretty easy. As a human, he gets 2 attribute boosts. Let's go with Dexterity and Constitution. For his heritage, let's choose Skilled, which gets him training in a skill that automatically boosts up to Expert at level 5. I'm going to choose Crafting as my skill, as Slab Bulkhead will need to repair his weapons and armor in the Wasteland. For his Ancestry feat, let's choose General Training. That gets him a General feat, and I think Fleet is a good choice. This will help offset the movement penalties for heavy armor when Slab gets his hands on some. He also gets a one-time boost of 8 extra hit points. Moving on, B is for background, and again there are no new backgrounds in the field test, so we will have to again turn to Pathfinder. Let's go with Scout, as our Wasteland Wanderer will have to survive in the Wastelands. Scout gets us a bonus to Dexterity or Wisdom, let's choose Dex, and a bonus to 1 attribute, let's choose Constitution. It also makes us trained in the Survival skill and a Terrain lore skill of our choice. Wasteland lore seems appropriate, and also nets us the Forager skill feat. This helps us survive in the wild, useful for the Wasteland/Apocalypse campaign setting. Now for what you've been waiting for, C is for class, and like I said, I'm going to make Slab Bulkhead here a soldier. Starting right off the bat, a soldier's key attribute is Constitution, and that means we get a free boost to it. They also get 10 hit points per level and are trained in Intimidation. They are also trained in a number of skills equal to 3 plus their intelligence modifier, and spoiler alert, our int modifier will end up being +1. This means we get 4 extra skills that we are trained in. Let's pick Nature, Thievery, and Society. Nature helps him identify irradiated wildlife he encounters. Thievery lets him pick locks, which is a substantial minigame in Fallout 76. And Society lets us know about pre-war stuff to know what to scavenge. Finally, let's grab the Computer skill because hacking is also a minigame in Fallout 76. Soldiers get a whopping 4 class features at level 1 and a class feat, so let's dive into them. The Suppressive Fire feature says that if we attack with a weapon that does area effect damage, such as a grenade or going full auto with our laser gatling, then enemies who fail a saving throw are suppressed. Suppressed is a new Starfinder condition that gives enemies a -1 penalty to hit and a penalty to speed. This suppressed condition seems to be a soldier's bread and butter ability because a lot of soldier abilities revolve around the suppressed condition. The primary target class feature is a bit weird, and Slab Bulkhead here won't be using it. I'll leave it on screen if you want to pause the video and read it. Anyway, we won't use it here. Walking Armory is pretty fun and unique. When calculating if we take penalties from wearing armor, we use our Constitution score instead of our Strength score. Also, this increases our carrying capacity by half of our Constitution modifier. I quite like this, the idea that you aren't strong enough to just ignore your armor. Instead, you feel the weight of your armor but can just power through it. Lastly, we get our fighting style, which is the soldier subclass. I'm going to pick Bombard, which means that if enemies save against our area effect attack, they are still suppressed, though those that critically save are not. Also, allies have an easier time resisting our area of effect attacks if we end up catching our allies in the blast zone, which is nice. We also get a level 1 soldier feat. Let's go with Quick Swap, which lets Slab, as a reaction to an enemy getting adjacent to him, store a 2-handed ranged weapon and draw a 2-handed melee weapon. Importantly, it doesn't say that this is an interact action to draw a weapon, which means this may not have the manipulate trait, meaning you may not trigger reactive strike with it, or maybe it's just bad wording for the playtest. Soldiers also get some other stuff. I'll put those on screen now. Finally, we get 4 free attribute boosts. I'm going to go with Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, and Wisdom. For equipment, we're going to spend the majority of our starting cash on a roto laser. We'll also want a melee weapon in case we get into melee combat. I'd suggest a Dancer's Spear from Pathfinder. It's a finesse weapon to go with our high dex, but it's also a 2-handed weapon, so it works with the Quick Swap feat. As for armor, there is no armor listed in the field tests, but I'd go with studded leather or whatever the Starfinder equivalent of that is. Finally, I assume there's a sort of starting kit like Pathfinder's Adventurer's Pack, so let's pick up one of those and a spare battery for our roto laser. So before we go any further leveling up, I should talk about the roto laser for a second. It has the automatic trait, meaning you can fire it normally, or you can fire it off in a cone for 2 actions. Anyone caught in the cone makes a basic reflex save or takes damage, but doing that depletes half the ammunition in the weapon. So you can fire it twice before needing to reload. Now we can move on to leveling up. At level 2, we get the standard skill and class feat. For our skill feat, Natural Medicine will help us patch ourselves up in the wild if we get hurt. For our class feat, I'll pick Steady Up. This is a feat that lets you enter a stance, and, well, in this stance, you can do those automatic area effect attacks as 1 action instead of 2, meaning you can fire off 2 of them around. At level 3, we get the class feature Fearsome Bulwark, along with the standard skill increase and general feat. Fearsome Bulwark lets us use our prodigious Constitution modifier instead of our Charisma modifier when using the Intimidate skill, which is nice. For the skill increase, I will choose Nature to make us better at healing ourselves, though if you choose Intimidation, I wouldn't blame you. For our general feat, Toughness would be a solid choice. At level 4, we get another skill and class feat. For our skill feat, let's choose Quick Repair, as keeping our weapons and armor in tip-top shape in the Wastelands is of paramount priority. I'd also recommend the Class Feat Widen Area. This is a single action you can take to increase the area effect of your automatic weapons or grenades. Lastly, level 5. We get the standard stuff: an attribute boost, skill increase, and ancestry feat. For our attribute increases, let's double down on dexterity, constitution, intelligence, and wisdom. For our skill increase, let's go with thievery so we can pick more locks, and also remember, due to our heritage, crafting also goes up to expert at this point. Lastly, for our ancestry feat, let's grab untrained improvisation, which helps us with a whole host of skills. We also get soldier weapon mastery, which is a misnomer because it only gets us up to expert in simple and martial weapons. It also gets us critical specialization, but only for weapons with the area or automatic trait, so we become specialized in the roto laser but not our dancer's spear. As we level up, there are a few pieces of equipment we should be on the lookout for. A thieves toolkit, which comes in the form of bobby pins in Fallout 76, would help us pick locks. Also, we'll probably want to upgrade to heavy armor at some point. I'd go for splint mail or the Starfinder equivalent, as it is cheaper, easier to find, and would give us the same bonuses as plate mail due to our high dexterity. We'll need a crafter's toolkit to help fix our weapons and armor, and a healer's toolkit would be nice so we can use natural medicine while exploring ancient ruins. Natural medicine doesn't require a healer's kit if you are in nature, but does require one if you're in a city or something. Other than that, just pick up things to make us better, like upgraded weapons and armor. And there you go, that's a Starfinder Field Test Soldier. Like I said, Paizo has already made changes to the soldier, so this isn't going to be exactly what a soldier playtest will look like, but it should give you a general idea. What did you think? Does it look interesting to you? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That tells not only me, but also YouTube that you like this kind of content and would like to see more. And until next time, thank you, good luck, and happy gaming!